Hello and welcome back to another episode of Squishcraft. Yeah, anticlimactic intro aside, we're back! So, okay, after the feedback from the last video, I noticed that, people didn't quite like the, overkill and the shenanigans at the beginning of the video, which is fair enough. I can understand that, and that is a-okay, and that is fine. This is gonna be a little bit different. We're actually gonna be doing some building. We're gonna actually have a bit of fun at the start, so yeah, let's actually go over what I intend to do today, though. So the idea behind what we're doing today is I want to start the work on turning this into an actual starter base, because as you can see, well, we really haven't done much. Essentially, we've just got this stuff here. This is our setup. We've got a mine down there. Our nether portal is down there too. And we've also got a sugarcane farm in there. And then another thing, we've got 4 villagers sitting in minecarts in there because I need to make sure that I saved a few of them because most of them are already dead at this point. Like, most of the other villagers that were sitting in this village when I first came here are already dead, so that's kind of problematic, but it's a good thing we've got all of them saved in here. But I kind of want to turn this into kind of like my starting base, but I've also got to keep in mind that for the long game, I plan to turn this into some form of villager area. I'm thinking of calling it villager industries kind of thing. Don't worry about it. But essentially, I'm going to need to make sure that when I make this, I have to keep in mind that I do want to have like the base area, probably at this end here. I'll probably have like a few farms, maybe a melon pumpkin farm and things along those lines in amongst this area here as well. And then potentially, maybe at the back end here, we have a big villager breeder as well as a nice sized trading hall. But before I can even think about playing this out in this world, for you guys to see and actually better explain what I intend to do, we kind of need to clear out this area, most of the buildings, and flatten it out. And today, I'm going to use replay mods, so it might be a bit terrible. I don't know. We'll find out how it goes. I've never used replay mod before properly, so this is going to be the first time I have to do. Either way, let's clear out this area. I'll catch you guys in a bit. honestly, that time lapse wasn't exactly that bad. Replay was a lot easier to actually use than what I expected to be. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think of the village so far? As we can see here, I pretty much did a basic bit of terraforming of that mountain over there, mainly because it was like more of a cliff face type thing that stuck out way too much for what I intend to do over in this area. So I had to fix it up and then tie it up. And honestly, right now it doesn't even look that bad. It looks like it'd be naturally generated in that way, aside from the complete and utter lack of grass and greenery along this area. But we may or may not fix that. I'm not 100% sure yet because I'm not 100% sure on what the idea I'm using right now. But going through it, here, this area here is going to be the main base area. Now, the idea behind the design of this village is I intend to make it themed after a factory. And now this base will be transformed into something slightly different, maybe into a storage area, something along those lines after I move on to the ocean monument base idea that we're going to do over there. And at the back here, I intend to do like a decent sized villager trading hall as well as potentially a melon farm there, maybe a sugarcane farm. I'm not 100% sure what I'm exactly doing with that box there anyhow. But this rounder area, this curve in the mountain there, I plan to make a building over here to make a villager breeder so I can get a decent quantity of villagers. Maybe do like an iron farm off the edge in the water here, maybe a creeper farm down that direction. That's the idea at this point in time. Now, another thing that happened in between AFK sessions is that someone dropped a little bribe chest down here while I was in the middle of AFKing. Now, down here was a chest from 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. It was a bribe from which is 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. And it was a collection of almost a stack of iron blocks, half a stack of golden blocks, about 2 diamond blocks, another half a stack of copper blocks. And when it comes down to 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼, you kind of got to assume that if he's trying to bribe you for something, he wants something interesting done, to say the least. So I guess we'll find out if this little bribe that I just took all the items out of will come back to bite me in the backside or not, as I'm not 100% sure at this point in time. It potentially might be for something very little. It could be something pretty big. Knowing 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼, I have no idea what I might have put myself into by accepting that bribe. But we'll find out eventually when he goes to pull in that favor that he potentially got. I have no idea what the bribe's for. We'll find out soon enough. Anyhow, I'm going to play around with a bit of a palette, as the idea I want to do here is a factory where it goes from like a more darker gradient tone that goes up into more of a dark reddish at the top of the building, which is kind of the idea I'm going for right now. I'm probably going to work on the powder blocks that I might be using, but then I also need to go out and grind for those blocks and actually get a good collection of them, because I want to at least have the main base zone, this frame here, at least partway done. I want to at least have like the front view so you get an idea of what I'm intending on building here before the end of the video. But I've got a few days in order to do all that grinding process to get all the resources I need, as well as to build up hopefully this main building here, and then potentially we may get those villages situated in a very basic breeding setup under this area over here, so I can get that house out of here and maybe make a bigger sugarcane farm. We'll figure it out as we go along. But I'm going to have to cut off here because, well, I need to do some grinding for a little bit, collect the resources that I need to actually start working on this idea, play around with some pallets, and then a bunch of other things. Either way, I'll see you guys in a few clips, eh? So we've done some work since I last checked in on you guys and last checked up and all those things. As you can see, the shape of the main base area has already changed, and I also had to cut into the little house over here that I have the villagers sit in. Mainly because I did spend some time in a creative testing world, like experimenting with different designs, and this is the base of a design that I ended up settling in upon. And of course, you can see one of the resources that I'm going to need to collect a fair amount of to make this design work, as I've already got a few of them set up over here, as I'm starting to collect the crimson logs, the crimson stems, because the design requires a lot of deep slate and some crimson planks. Planks are the easier part because they're planks. They're not the actual stems, they're the planks, easy to get. Problem is, I have to go get a lot of deep slate in order to make this design. But I have the design idea in mind, and I'm thinking that this design will also be duplicated like 3 blocks that way in that area there, maybe, potentially, as the hall type thing. Also, I have gone over and gotten myself enchanted gear from 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼's base over down here, like way down there. And also on my way back, I checked out where the base is going to be, which is roughly in that direction over there. That's where the monument that I'm planning on using is, over in the direction of. On that note, let's go get ourselves some deep slate. And now that we've gotten all the resources that we needed, which is in our little chest here, like we've got only a few stems, but if we go take all this and we convert them all to planks, I'm hoping that this is far more than enough planks that we're going to need for this build. If not, I've got a few trees down here, and then I probably will have to go back to the Nether to collect more of it because I have no idea how to get more of the warped fungus on the overworld. Either way, let's go into it one last time after this video, and let's get this structure built so we can get this done, have a base finally. so there's our base done. Well, at least the main frame of it. I still have to go through the interior and clean up all the dirt I've left sitting around the area from like scaffolding as well as placing these blocks everywhere. But I honestly quite like the design over here. Personally, I'm looking back at it now wishing that I may have potentially lifted it up 1 or 2 blocks off the ground in order to give it more of an industry look or factory look to the area and have it more cemented in. But you know, you live and you learn. I can't really do much about that now. I really don't want to just tear this all down just to shift it up a block or 2. But I will probably make another one at the back here that's going to be higher, so we can practically make the story as that this one is actually sunk into the ground, which means that I'll probably need to make the stone walls sink into the ground itself, so it actually kind of fits the aesthetic. Now, of course, I still need to do the interior of this actual base here as well as a bit more exterior work, but I'm running out of time for this episode, so we're just going to end it here. I'll probably either do it off camera, finish it off camera, or maybe have a quick time lapse to start the next video. But that is all for this video. Let me know, did you like this video better than the first one? Do you think I'm improving in these type of videos? Either. Make sure to hit the like button down below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new around here, and either. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode of 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. Bye!